points. Today's matchup features a couple of big targets who will be looking to get open in the middle of the field. It's the Lions going up against the Seahawks. On the call here tonight, let's send it out to our guys in the booth. That's Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thank you. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Detroit Lions and the Seattle Seahawks. Hello again, everybody. I'm Brandon Guyton here in the booth with, as always, Charles Davis. Charles, a lot of times in the open, we focus on quarterbacks, running backs. What about the tight ends in this one?
Well, I think LR identified it really well because the tight ends are matchup nightmares nowadays. Who are you going to cover them with? Because really, they are pumped up wide receivers who can flat out run and use their body to create bigger plays. Cover them with a linebacker, cover them with a defensive back. Either way, they feel like they have the advantage.
Here's the punter, Sam Martin, now ready to get us started. And off we go from Seattle. This one taken from the 7. Oh, nice move. And leading the charge here for the Seahawks as they take the field, Russell Wilson. Easy dismantling of the Rams back in Week 15.
Hold a second. Forget that. I've got to go back to last week. What'd you think of the uniform? The action green, as they called it.
You know, people were killing those uniforms. I didn't think they were awful, but it wasn't their best look. Let's say that.
Let me give you a quick piece of trivia on that.
Okay.
The jersey has been worn before by Seattle. They wore it against Chicago, 2009-2010 season, somewhere in that area. I did that game. They actually wore it with blue pants.
Did they win?
Yeah, they won that game.
There they go.
They're the action green jersey.
Keep wearing them.
There you go.
Rawls. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Now Wilson on second down. It's caught outright by Graham. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
On second down, Wilson. And left side here, it's Graham. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The Detroit Lions and the comeback king, Matthew Stafford, taking the field. Now, it was a struggle in Week 15. Only put up 6 points in a loss to the Giants. But here's what reigns supreme, this stat. 8 fourth-quarter comebacks this year for Stafford, the most by an NFL quarterback since 1925.
And did you see that type of season coming for Detroit?
I don't think anybody did.
Yeah, I think people are going to call this an overachieving season for them, and they feel like there's much more left out there. They're thinking playoffs, and they're thinking damage in the playoffs, mainly because of their quarterback. He's a guy that's in MVP discussion, and rightly so, because of what you said. Say it one more time. 8?
Yeah, fourth-quarter comebacks. Most since 1925. And the reception made over the middle. This is Bolden. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. So an excellent throw and an excellent catch there.
Zone coverage, which means you just have to find the open areas in between defenders. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he's got his man in stride, complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th and 10. And here come the Seahawks. They won the NFC West, wrapping it up in Week 15. They've won it 4 out of the last 5 years, Charles, and what New England has been able to do has dwarfed everything else, but that's a pretty good run out west, is it not?
It's a fantastic run because, remember, we were talking about the NFC West being the most competitive division in football for about a 3-year stretch there between them and San Francisco. Remember, the Rams played all of them tough. Arizona got involved in the whole deal. So it's a great run by them, and they don't believe that they're finished. Not by any stretch of the imagination. They're looking to get one of the home field advantages in the playoffs.
They'll run with Rawls. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And Graham's got it, complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Doug Baldwin, 42 yards. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
So out now come the Lions. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover, and wow, now we've got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Riddick with a carry. And he spins past him and into space. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This rushing attack for Detroit been near the bottom of the league all season long. As of Week 15, under 82 a game. Do they need an every down back next year?
You know me, partner. I always love a guy who can do everything, and that's the guy that I want to build my attack around. So if Amir Abdullah had been able to stay healthy for Detroit, I think he'd be their every down type of a back. And Theo Riddick would be freed up to do what he does best, run routes, catch the ball in the secondary. But now Riddick has had to take on much more of a load running it, and Dwayne Washington, the rookie, has tried to fill in as well.
They go back to Riddick, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. So the Lions go backwards there, and unfortunately that's something they saw a lot in 2015. They had the fewest rushing yards of any team in the NFL.
And it's one of those dubious titles that no one really wants to claim. Even teams who say, well, don't worry about running it because we throw it all the time. Being able to run it when you want to is a key to success in the NFL, and Detroit struggled doing that.
Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. From the gun on third down, Stafford. Out to the flat for Riddick. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
A'Shawn Robinson coming out of the University of Alabama. A big, physical, intimidating force who had to learn to play with more leverage. Otherwise, he was going to get blown off the ball in the NFL. Looks like he's learning his lessons after that play.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Wilson. The grab made by Curse over the middle. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
He's got time in the pocket. He's going to let this a fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And Detroit getting set to go now. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Here's Riddick. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. K.J. Wright not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And the defense will try and pin their ears back and get pressure again here after the sack. It's 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford finding time. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. There's Wilson to throw. Surveying the field. And he took the contact as he was throwing it. And the ball drops incomplete. And nobody was open downfield there. Looked like a pretty clear throwaway.
Yeah, definitely was that. I'm wondering why there wasn't intentional grounding. I know they're saying there's a receiver there in the area. Those darn quarterbacks, they get away with everything.
Spoken like a true defensive back, Mr. Davis.
Did that come out?
It did.
Okay. Whoosh.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Third and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. On 1st down, Stafford here. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
2nd down, offense behind the sticks here. 2nd and 13. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Caught on the right side by Jones. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So they're operating in the red zone. From the red zone now, Stafford. It is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Eric Ebron from 13 yards out. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
there's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, whether they want to let their return guy touch it.
It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they kick it through to take the lead. There is a little bit of time left, though, here in the 2nd quarter.
And while they're concerned about not giving up a big return or giving up points themselves going into the half, how good do they feel, though, putting points on the board themselves right near the end of the first half?
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Roberts on the return. And he's got room.
Well, that return had all the trappings of really good scouting. You could tell that they thought they saw something on tape that they could take advantage of, and they dialed it up at just the right time to give them a great return.
The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there, just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And a great spot to start this drive from here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. The left side completion to Jones. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
From the gun, here's Stafford. This will be caught at about the 5. Only 2 yards on the completion at 2nd down. Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good, and that will knot us up at 10. So he missed a field goal earlier, but he says not this time, and he's able to knock it through to give his guys 3.
And that's all you want as a kicker, a chance to redeem yourself. You got to have a short memory if you're going to survive at this level, and he's able to get back on track.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. Throwing is Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Throwing again here, Wilson. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he's brought down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
There's completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse, and that'll bring up 2nd down. the 8th play on this drive coming up. Graham slotted out to the left. Again on 2nd and 10. It's Wilson. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Jermaine Kearse, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks are going to take the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. Stafford on 1st down. Ebron caught left side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And to give this time to the tailback. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well, because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can roam to the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, "Hello, my name is Mike."
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
On 1st down, it's Stafford. Finding time. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Theo Riddick there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And that's incomplete. Off the play fake to Rawls. Wilson surveying the field. He's going to air one out. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for Seattle. 54 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And Hauschka's kick is good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, push their backs clearly against the wall.
Now Stafford. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, ball's out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And he'll get this back across the midfield stripe and down to the 47-yard line.
Well, you're trailing. It's the 4th quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.